Ready.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the future of education, where passion meets purpose. I'm Amy from Dumroo.ai, and today we're diving into the boardroom. Public school board members are the backbone of our K 12 system, yet they face mounting pressures with limited time, tools, and data clarity. And there's no one better to unpack all of this with me than Dr. Doug Loughborough, a man who's walked the walk. Former trustee at one of the largest elementary districts in California, now a national educator leader, and my brilliant colleague at Dumroo.ai. Dr. Luff, thank you for being here.
Amy, it's truly an honor and a pleasure. I'm really excited for today's podcast message and really sharing how the importance of being a school board member and using AI is paramount as we're moving into the trying times that we are in school and public education.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, let's jump right in. Whether you're a board president in Illinois, a trustee in Atlanta, or a superintendent in Texas, the pain points are real. What's the most common challenge school board members face today?
Well, Amy, it's two words: time and trust. When I was a school board member, we were responsible for our budget was the size of many cities. As a matter of fact, I oversaw over at that time 45 schools. Now I think it's up to 50, and our operational budget was 210 million. So that's a lot of money that needs to be overseen as a school board. And we didn't get a lot of dashboards. As a matter of fact, every time I'd have a school board meeting, I would get a book about the size of a dictionary that would have all the agenda items in there. We were responsible for going through all of it. And what I really did not want to do is to become a part of a board that's rubber stamps each of the different
Mhm.
agenda items, but could really look through them. And so, you know, uh, we had hundreds of pages. There was no narrative, just a lot of numbers, but no explanation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really where AI enters, not as a replacement for judgment, but as a force multiplier.
I mean, bingo. You hear information about, like, I'm in Southern California, but in Northern California, there was a situation where, um, chronic aptism, change that, scratch that, cut that out. Absenteeism, chronic absenteeism had spiked, but it took weeks for the district to notice and connect the dots on what to do with that information. But with Dumroo.ai, it's you get that information in less than 24 hours. You know, um, you'll be able to drill down to know where the problems are, what you need to do to fix it, and how you can put all of your team together to really look at real-time insight. And that's what it's really about. It's taking the information that's collected throughout the district and putting it in one place where human intelligence meets artificial intelligence. And as a board member, that's what you need. It's proactive governance.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, if you could imagine a board vice president in Detroit logging into Dumroo AI and seeing reading scores among multilingual learners are up 12%, right? And behavior incidents increased in second grade at just three campuses. You don't need to be in data analytics, to lead in terms of looking at this information wisely. Just as a later, sorry guys, scratch that. Just a leader with the right lens. Dr. Luff. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I screwed that up.
No, you want to just do that last line again?
Yes, please. Just a leader with the right lens.
And that's what equity really means. And when we say equity, we mean all means all students. How do we reach all of our students? Because let's be honest, boards can pass equity policies all day, but until you can see real-time gaps by subgroup, by grade, and by geography, those policies are just paperwork.
Mhm. Can I quote you on that?
Yes, please do. In our own district, we used, when I was on the school board, let's scratch that. Can you quote me on that?
Yes. Can I quote you on that?
Please do. When I was on the school district and the school board at Chula Vista Elementary School District, one of the things I wanted to know, because I was really interested in how our African American students are performing. And so, to be really specific, how our African American students in the fifth grade they were disengaging. I really wanted to know how and why. I knew teachers were trying hard, parents were frustrated, but I have seen with Dumroo.ai, we could have gotten that data. We could have seen
Mhm.
that 70% of them were placed with long term subs due to staffing shortages. Like we would have that information at our fingertips. And, that's the power of AI plus human wisdom. We can intervene early with context, compassion, and confidence.
Yeah, I love that. And for anyone listening, this is not science fiction. So Dumru is in the classrooms right now. In New Jersey, Texas, North Carolina, we're helping superintendents and principals and school boards do what they do best, which is serve students without drowning in spreadsheets.
I mean, that's right. Dumroo.ai isn't about another tool, it's about an ecosystem. It connects the dots between board policies, district performance goals, school climate surveys, student outcomes. It's like having a chief strategy officer or an equity auditor or a data coach all in one platform. It's really powerful. And to be honest with you, as you're going to the school, school board members are pulled in different directions. They have different
Mhm.
groups that want them to have different agendas. But we need to keep our agenda on one thing, and that's student outcomes and student performance. All means all, and our kids matter. And so being able to have that data so that we can make informed decisions to do what's right in the lives of our students, that's what being a school board member is all about.
Yeah, Dr. Luff, you just gave me chills. So, what would you say to a board president in Pennsylvania who's overwhelmed by competing priorities?
I mean, first I'd say I understand your pain.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I'd also pull a Michael Jackson and tell them that they are not alone, and that they don't have to choose between oversight and impact. If they just let AI take the grind and take the information for them, they can bring their vision to past.
Yeah.
Did you
So
get
it's
that?
like,
Did you get that joke about Did you get that joke about Michael Jackson? You did it, did you, Amy? You didn't get it. Michael Jackson. You didn't get it. It goes like this: You are not alone. I am here with you. And you can put that, Saeed. Saeed, I want this in the video. I want you to post that. The Michael Jackson "You Are Not Alone" reference.
maybe he could put the music in and we could start going like
You
this.
are not. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Edit it like that, and we'll put it. We'll be. You are not alone. Sorry about that. I just had to dump that in there. This is what's gonna make this thing really take off.
That's right. We do need to dub in some good stuff. There's some good, like, in between stuff. You
All
are
right,
not
so like
alone.
you know, so I'd say just like Michael Jackson said, you're not alone, Amy. You don't have to choose between oversight and impact. Let AI take the grind and do that information for you. Dumroo.ai is here to stay, and it's here to help you govern with speed, with soul, and systems.
That's a wrap right here.
Well, let's build a future where every student is. did I did I mess up?
Well, that's okay because you said speed, soul, and systems, which is my bad. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to say. Speed, soul, and systems. That's a wrap right here. And then you say, let's build a future.
Okay, all right. Dumroo is here. Dumroo is here to help Dumroo.ai is here to help you govern with speed, with soul, and systems.
That's a wrap right here. Ah,
Then you know what
okay.
we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to build a future where every student is seen, every board member feels equipped, and every school community gets the support it deserves. Three words for you: speed, soul, and systems.
Wait, wait, wait. Okay. How about if you start with where it says Dr. Luff Ernest, and you say, I'd say you're not alone. You don't have to choose between blah, blah, blah. Let AI take your grind. You bring the vision. And then I'll say speed, soul, systems. That's a wrap right here.
Okay,
You see where it says
Amy,
Dr. Luff? Okay, go ahead.
yep, Ernest, yep. I'd say you're not alone. You don't have to choose between oversight and impact. Let AI take the grind and you bring the vision.
That's right.
Dumroo.ai. Oh, I had one more line.
You
Let me do
do?
it again.
Where is it?
It's on the next page. Dumroo.ai is here to help you govern with speed, soul, and systems. Do you
Oh,
have that?
and do you say that's a wrap right there?
No, then you say speed, soul, systems. That's a wrap right there.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Let's start over
All
with
right.
I'd say.
I'd say you're not alone. You don't have to choose between oversight and impact. Just let AI take that grind. You bring the vision. Dumroo.ai is here to help you govern with speed, with soul, and systems.
That's right. Speed, soul, and systems. That's a wrap right here.
Let's build a future where every student is seen, every board member feels equipped, and every school community gets the support it deserves.
Yes, to every school board member out there, your role matters. Your time matters. Your voice matters. So join us at Dumroo.ai, where we turn data into decisions and decisions into change. Until next time, lead with heart. Should we do it over?
From the beginning,
Yeah, why not?
I thought we had some good things there.
I thought so
I say
too.
we
Well,
I
let's
say we
let Saeed, what do you think?
yeah, Saeed, what do you think? Or we let the editors earn their money.
I think
He'll come back.
I think it's okay if you guys want to revise that. That's perfectly fine. The video editor would be able to uh, work on it. So it's just that I want you guys to be confident. I think if you would like to do it again, you should do that.
Let's do it one more time, and then if there's good pieces to both, right? Like they'll dub all that in.
Yes, absolutely. That would be great.
What do you think,
But
Dr.
I
Love?
think it is too short. We ended up in how much time? 14 minutes, 16. Now it's just 14 minutes. You can see the timer to the left. It is just 14 minutes now.
Oh yeah, I see. It's only 15 minutes. We want it to be about 20.
Yeah, 20 to 30 because in between we were taking breaks, right? So, but then we should be able to give out final outcome as 20 at least.
Okay. Dr. Luff, why don't we do it one more time? And if you want to ad lib in a little bit more information between, your parts of the script, let's do that.
Okay,
You
sounds
want to
good.
try it one more time?
Yep.
All right, let's
Let's
do a countdown. Oh, and are you going to change the numbers again to the recording to make it 0?
make it
Pretty
0.
please? Yeah. Let's see if he's going to turn it off and then turn it back on. I'm not pressing any buttons. Well, maybe we can just start right now and then it'll start at 15.
Okay, so we want
Ready?
to go to kind of like 45. Ready?
All right, here we go. All right. Hi, friends. Welcome to the future of education where passion meets purpose. I'm Amy from Dumroo.ai, and today we're diving deep into the boardroom. Public school board members are the backbone of our 12 Public school board members are the backbone of our K 12 system, yet they face mounting pressures with limited time, tools, and data clarity. And there's no one better to unpack all of this with me than Dr. Doug Loughborough, a man who's walked the walk. Former trustee at one of the largest elementary districts in California, now a national educator, leader, and my brilliant colleague at Dumroo. Dr. Luff, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Amy, so much for having me. It's truly an honor. This conversation is long overdue.
I couldn't agree with you more, so let's jump right in. So, whether you're a board president in Illinois, a trustee in Atlanta, or a superintendent in Texas, the pain points are real. What's the most common challenge school board members face today, Dr. Luff?
I think it's all boils down to two words: time and trust. School board members are responsible for budgets larger than some cities. In my case, in Southern California, in Chula Vista, we managed a budget of $210 million across 45 schools.
Wow.
But we didn't get dashboards. We got data dumps. Thursday night PDFs, hundreds of pages, no narrative, just numbers.
Wow,
And
exactly. And that's really where AI enters, right? So it's not a replacement for judgment, but it really is a force multiplier.
I mean, bingo, you hit the nail right on the head. Let me tell you about a case I saw in Fresno, California. Chronic absenteeism had spiked, but it
Mhm.
took weeks to notice because no one had connected the dots. With Dumroo.ai, we could have flagged that in 24 hours, in less than 24 hours. AI would have shown one, it was the highest in three middle schools, two, it correlated the bus route changes, and three, 87% of impacted students were from the same zip code. That's real insight, Amy. That's proactive governance.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, if you could imagine a board vice president chair in Detroit logging into Dumroo and seeing a stat reading scores among multilingual learners are up 12%, or behavioral incidents increased in second grade at just three campuses, you don't need to be a data analyst to lead wisely, just a leader with the right lens.
And that's what equity really means. At the Chula Vista Elementary School District, the motto was, each child is an individual of great worth. And when we think about equity, we think that all means all. Because let's be honest, school boards can pass equity policies all day, but until we can see the real time gaps and have it broken down by subgroups, by grade, by geography, those policies are just paperwork. And I think many people, when they want to join a school board, they have the right intentions. But there are a lot of different groups that kind of push people to the left, push people to the right, and we lose track on what matters most, and that's student achievement. That's helping students get from where they are to where they need to be. And AI and platforms like Dumroo.ai can really help support that.
Yeah, can I quote you on that?
I mean, please do. In my own district, one of the things that I was interested in was really how our African American or Black students were performing. Um, you know, I used to wonder why Black male students in the fifth grade were disengaging. What were the reasons for that? Teachers were trying hard, parents were frustrated. I really do feel like if we had Dumroo.ai, we could have seen that, a high number of percentage of them were placed in long-term subs due to staffing shortages. Like, that's powerful information that really could have helped us make informed decisions right on the spot. That's the power of AI plus human wisdom. We can intervene early with context, compassion, and confidence.
Yeah, I love that. And for anyone listening, this is not science fiction. So Dumroo is in classrooms right now. In New Jersey and Texas, North Carolina, we're helping superintendents, principals, and school boards do what they do best: serve students without drowning in spreadsheets.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Dumroo.ai isn't just another tool, it's an ecosystem. And,
Mhm.
the program's been developed to work with students, with teachers, with administrators, and with parents. Can you just imagine the possibilities of being to connect the dots between those two groups and providing relevant, real time information so that we can make
Mhm.
informed decisions on how to best lead our schools and lead our districts? I mean, it connects the dots between board policies, district performance goals, our school climate surveys, student outcomes. It's like having your very own chief strategy officer or equity auditor or data coach that's right there with you each step of the way, all in one platform.
Yeah, Dr. Luff, you just gave me some chills. So let me ask you a quick question. What would you say to a board president in Pennsylvania who's overwhelmed by competing priorities?
Well, I'm going to start off with I'm a child of the 80s. So I'm going to quote the famous the king of rock himself, Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson said, "You are not alone. You're not alone." A lot of folks are going through the same experience. You don't have to choose between oversight and impact. Let AI take the grind. You bring the vision. Dumroo.ai is here to help you govern with speed, with soul, and with systems.
Yeah, that's right. Speed, soul, and systems. That's a wrap right there.
Let's build a future where every student is seen, every student feels heard, every board member feels equipped with the information right on their fingertips about how to
Mhm.
create positive change within their district, and every school community gets the support it deserves.
Yeah. So, I mean, in all honesty, to every school board member out there, your role matters. Your time matters. Your voice matters. So, join us at Dumroo.ai, where we turn data into decisions and decisions into change. Until next time, lead with heart. I think the second one rocked.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think second one was much better, but again, this was also short. But it's okay. The video editors will now work and make this. I think short is also good sometimes, but probably in the future we can think about completing the 30 minutes, because with the two shots that we have taken, we are at 24 minutes now.
Oh, okay.
So probably next time we can. It's okay for now. This is sweet and short and good. You want
Okay. Well, then we'll know how much more dialogue we have to have.
to?
How do you think we did, Dr. Luff?
Yeah, the second one, I thought that there was some good parts in the first one actually, but the second one I thought was smoother and you know, if it's 30, if we're looking for that 30 minutes, I think we could focus on the clock. I also didn't know like where if we're getting close to the end.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I thought it went great. I mean, I thought it was good. Yeah.
I know. I wish that there were a couple more sentences that we could just If we set them now, then they could dub them in, right? Based on where they want something else to be said. Do you want it? Go ahead, Saeed.
No, no, no. There was a technical error at my computer.
He said, I think I heard him say there was a technical error. Is that what you heard him say?
Yes.
There was a technical error at my end. You guys can continue.
Okay, great. What I was saying is I'm wondering if maybe Dr. Luff can just like maybe give another example of something for a few more, seconds where you can add that to some of the other dialogue, maybe?
Okay, let me see. Hold on. Yep. Like, yeah. Yep. I can add. I can add. Like, how long you want me to go for?
You know what? I don't know. Give a great story or something about whatever you want to do, like maybe a couple minutes, and we can watch because we're still being recorded. It's at
Yep.
26, almost 2030. So, you know, go ahead and say what you want to say, and then they can add that in. Like add another example or say, you know what, another thing, Amy, and they can add that in. And I'll listen.
Yeah. So, hmm, hold on a second. Amy, I really appreciate our conversation today. It's been really enlightening. It reminds me of why I wanted to be a school board member. And I got to tell you the story because it's really amazing. Um,
Okay.
you know, when I was going through grad school, I was at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and I took a class with my professor. His name was Dr. Charles V. Willie. He was the only tenured African American professor, and he went to Morehouse College with none other than Martin Luther King. No pressure, huh?
Wow.
It was
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
goodness.
And he had
Yeah.
this class. It was called School Board Governance: How to Govern in Community and Help Every Child Be Successful. And you had to sign what he called a promissory note. I'm not kidding you. He had it said promissory note that if you take this class, that you would become a school board member in your local community. So, I graduated from Harvard and then I moved to Southern California. And, my wife and I had our first child. And when she was in kindergarten, I started volunteering at my kid's school at the school site council. And the principal
Mhm.
came in and said, "Hey, there's an open for a board seat." And she pointed at me and she said, "I think you should apply." She didn't know that I had signed this promissory note when I was at the ed school that I would be
Oh.
a school board member. And so I put all my applications together and my daughter was in kindergarten and the very first question is why do you want to be a Chula Vista Elementary school board member? And the first picture on the first slide was my youngest daughter's kindergarten picture.
Oh my
They
goodness.
say a picture can say 1,000 words. And that
Yes.
was the reason why I wanted to be um, on the school board because I wanted to make sure that not just that picture, but all 30,000 students that were in the district have the same wants and needs and are able to succeed as a learner. And what's so
Mhm.
exciting right now about AI is that as a school board member, school board members being able to use AI is a very powerful tool because it asks questions like, why are these students over at this side of town underperforming and the students that are on the other side of town are doing better? What are the
Yes.
qualities? What are the skills? What's happening over there? What data can you show me now? Not 6 months from now, not after my term has expired, but what can you
Mhm.
show me now that can give me insights into maybe what's happening? And, AI does that. And so,
Yeah.
being able to not only meet the needs of what's happening now, but using artificial intelligence after a while that starts to get smart and starts to provide predictive analytics to everything that it's doing, it really can govern how school boards focus on what's most important in schools. and instead of going from whatever it's happening in outside of schools that's impacting the schools. And so when we look at school board members are a lot of pressure right now. They're under a
Mhm.
lot of external pressures, things that aren't even happening in the classroom that impact the schools and the school districts. And so it takes school board members with um, a backbone and not a
Mhm.
wishbone. It
Right.
takes superintendents that are forward thinking and that are already using AI or thinking about how can they use AI to tell their story and to tell it better to their constituents, so that we focus on what matters the most, and that's what's happening in the classroom. That's student performance, that's kids achieving, that's kids showing up to school, that's kids being in a place where we're able to predict, and you can do this through Dumroo.ai, predict if that student is going to pass that grade or not.
Mhm.
And through the platform, it provides intervention that gives students right then and there real life tools where they can change and make adjustments. They don't have to wait till they're out of that grade level and they moved on to the
Right.
next class. They can do it right now. That's the power of AI. That's why school districts need to come on board. That's why school board members need to come on board.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that because, on a daily basis, we're always having conversations about how Dumroo.ai can really be an educational assistant. And we see teachers using it all the time in the classroom setting. And again, in live time, it helps them within a moment of whatever their needs are, whether it's a classroom assessment or a quiz. It is just such a supportive advocate for students and their educational process individualized. So hoping that obviously everyone can take advantage of it, like
And
yourself.
right now, and the other thing too is right now, and I know sitting on both sides of being on a school board, but also having the pleasure to work with Dumroo.ai, is that right now is the time to get involved. You know,
Right.
we are looking at establishing pilots and pilot schools, pilot districts
Mhm.
all across the country, and now's the time to get in. It's low cost. It's not going to cost the district an arm and a leg. It's something that they can easily afford, you
Mhm.
know. And if they if they get involved now, they could be a part of building something that's great, not only for their district but for education.
Yeah, and I think another component of that is what we talk to teachers about all the time. I think one differentiator for Dumroo.ai is the ability to have teachers come on board and learn enough about certain parts of using the AI program and really, become and have that as their expertise and then move into another piece of Dumroo.ai that they can use in the classroom. So, this is a journey and we walk with them through it, right? So some teachers we talk to, they don't have any background in AI and they have their fears and their challenges and they say, Amy, I don't know where to begin. And we walk them through it. We allow them to get their feet wet, become more varied in what they can do with the program. And then they really get engaged with the students to be able to use it every day. It's really a wonderful process to see.
Yeah, no, as we think about the evolution, I mean, you talked about fears, and one
Yeah.
of the things that I share is that, nothing will replace that teacher in the classroom. However, a
Mhm.
teacher who's equipped with AI may replace those that aren't connected with
Mhm.
AI. So, it's just like the evolution of the iPhone. The iPhone
Right.
came in and it came in with such a wave. No one had a It was like we didn't even have a choice. Like I couldn't go back
Right.
and rotate the phone and it's not hanging on the wall anymore. It has a cord to it, those days are gone. And I had to I had to learn to adapt real quick and figure out how to use the new technology for good. Well, the same is true with AI in education. You're going to be using AI one way or another in your school. You might as well be a pioneer and not. There's three types of people in this world. There's those who make things happen, those who watch things
Exactly.
happen, and then unfortunately you have those people that just said, "Hey, What just happened? For those of you listening right now, don't be a part of that crowd that's sitting there saying, "Hey, what's happened?" Because when you do that, the people who suffer the most are the kids, because you're keeping these great resources from them. So jump in now, do it
Very true.
now. Um, do it now because it's going to be here. It's going to be shaping hopefully in a very very positive way the way we teach, the way we help kids learn, but more importantly, give resources to teachers where they don't feel so overwhelmed, overburdened, stressed out, where we can use AI for good, and that's what we want to do. And I think you have a lot of stuff now, Saeed. I'm working overtime right
Not
now.
laughing at you. No, but you know what happened was, I don't know if it
I
was
get it.
mine or if it was yours, but the internet connection went off, and then you started talking very fast. You looked like, first you looked slow, like bop, bop, bop. Then all of a sudden you went because the internet,
Ah.
and I was trying to keep a serious face, and you were like this. Hey, but
Oh
you did
my
a great
goodness.
job. We got a lot more material. What do you think, Saeed? Is that a wrap? We need one of those things.
It's a wrap from me.
It is a
Saeed
wrap.
hung up.
100%. I think it's a great job. You guys have finally taken traction as you move forward, and the third retake was really, interactive and something that I was looking for. So I think great job and thank you for this great efforts there. So
That's
I,
great.
I
We're getting
at,
better.
at the third take, I really understood that you guys are the youngest guys in the team.
All right.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get better and better at it as we go.
Right,
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Luff, for joining us. Thank you, Saeed, for helping us get through this.
You're welcome, please.
Yeah.
And I look forward for probably we can do bi-weekly.
Mhm.
That would be much better because we're trying to organize another podcast for teachers and for special education and other things, so we can keep it bi-weekly.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we record them early, then you can post them whenever you want to, right?
Right, absolutely. That would be great. And for the next
Okay.
week, if you have a better topic or something that is on your mind, you can feel free to share, and I would be happy to execute. And if you have a small write up of the scripts or something that you would like to share, that will be more helpful. This is just a random thing just to show how the things would work, but you guys can lead this topic because you are an expert. I'm not.
Okay. All right, you
All
guys.
right.
Well, signing off from Phoenix. Talk to you later.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Have a
Bye, guys.